Hi, I'm Wendy. I wanted to give you a little bit of a brief introduction about why I'm here, how I got involved, and then just share with you how the Idaho camp came to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right to it. Share this with you here briefly. So if you missed the live training, we're gonna break this up in parts for you on this email. You won't get the entire day, but you are going to get most of it and the important stuff. So, first of all, thank you for being a part of our camp this year. I am so looking forward to spending time with you and just getting to know you more. This is the hardest week, but the best week of the year for me. And every year I learn something new about myself. I learned something that I didn't know I needed to learn. And so I just want to warn you and also give you the encouragement at the same time that God has something big planned for you. And it's only a week away. And he's given you everything you need. So if you forget all the rest of the training, just remember that he's given you everything you need. He does it for us every year. And so take peace and comfort with that and let's get going. So I am Wendy. I've been the current director since 2016. And I will tell you a little bit about why. So my background is in um, counseling. So I grew up in Gooding, Idaho. I'm a mom. I'm a grandma. I'll show you some really cute pictures of my grandkids. So this is Eileen and Milo. Eileen is 2, and Milo is now 5 months old. And for those of you who are grandparents, you get it. If you're not a grandparent, man, talk about the best gig on the planet. Like, that's it. You get to send them home at the end of the day when they're tired and cranky, and you always just get to be the fun guy. So it's a lot like camp, being a counselor at camp. You just get to be the good guy all the time. So thanks for letting me share grandbaby pictures. I also went to Boise State. Go Broncos. Um, I am actually now engaged to an Idaho Vandal. So that'll be an interesting split in the household, but I guess he's a good guy in spite of being a Vandal, so it'll be okay. I have a master's in counseling. My background is in childhood development and family dynamics and trauma. The next initials don't mean a thing to you, as do probably those. I'm a TBRI trainer, which is just a theory and a practice and a way of looking at and learning about trauma that's called trust-based relational intervention. And the founders, who you'll meet later in training, are David Cross and Karen Purvis, who are amazing people. They spent 20 years studying everything to do with children and their brains and trauma. And they didn't think up a very catchy name because TBRI is a mouthful. But it's great stuff. The content of it is amazing. So just bear with me. We'll learn more a little bit about that later in a different video. Basically, I geek out about all things related to children and especially brain development and growth. And I study it. I love it. I read about it. I just love figuring out what makes our brains and bodies work like they do, and especially in kiddos. So love children. And let's see, what's the most fun thing about me? I'm going to say this year. So meet Jack. We went to Israel. That's the most fun thing that I've done this year. And in Israel, we got engaged. And it's a really long story that I'll share later if you care to hear it. We actually have known each other since kindergarten. We got baptized the first time together. And at the age of 8, we were both baptized as babies, but then we went to a Tuesday school, we called it, and grew up Methodist, actually. And we're baptized as a group together when we were 8. So in Israel, we got rebaptized here in these pictures together in the Sea of Galilee. And of all people, with Bob Goff. And I don't know if you're familiar with Bob Goff or not. He's an amazing author, super cool guy. Great way of delivering Christianity and the message to so many people. If you don't know about Bob Goff, you're totally missing out. Google him. listen to his podcast, read his books. It's just wonderful stuff. But we toured the Holy Land with Bob Goff and his wife. And while we were there on the Sea of Galilee, Jack proposed to me. So we're getting married sometime in the next year, year and a half. We don't have a date set yet, but you'll probably all be there. This was on a boat in the Sea of Galilee, and it was just some really good, fun stuff. So that's a little bit about me. I got involved with camp. We'll kind of skip ahead here. So this is Tom and Margaret Turco, and they were the founders of the Idaho camp in 1992. They were the directors and built the thing from the ground up until 2015. And when I got involved in 2010, I've actually been involved with camp since 2010. I was open to anything and everything. I wanted to serve however was best to be served, where I was needed. And really in my heart, I wanted to be a buddy, a counselor. I had been a counselor at church camps growing up and just wanted to be a buddy. But they had other things in mind for me that year. Because I was licensed counselor, it worked out well that year to help with health and welfare and do child placement and the matching, and do kind of all things related to getting the kiddos to camp and working with health and welfare. And I loved it. It was great. Then after that, I did that again another year. And then because of my background in training, I helped out with training, actually, this part of the camp. Can't say that I'm great at it yet. Videos are not my strong suit. Technology is not at the top of my list of talents and gifts, but we get by. So, and then Tom and Margaret asked me to pray about becoming a director, that they felt that they've been looking for a while, and they felt like I was it. And I just knew they had the wrong message, that they had lost their minds and they were thinking of the wrong person. So I said I would pray about it. And to be really forthcoming, I didn't. I prayed that they wouldn't ask me again, is exactly what I prayed. And then they asked me the next year, and Tom said, "Did you pray about it?" And I said, "Tom, I didn't, but I will. And once you meet Tom and Margaret, you'll find out that you will do absolutely anything for them. And when Tom Turco asks you to pray about something or consider something, that that's from God and that it's not about you." And so I did. So I earnestly and solemnly prayed about it that year. And, one of my handicaps is that I don't hear the audible voice of God. I get messages, I get gut feelings, I get heart movements, I get messages from God. But I have yet to audibly hear his voice. I'm more of the person that needs a neon sign and kind of a smack across the head to be like, "Oh, that was you. Okay, that was you, God. Thanks for the message." And that happened that year. I just got this very clear right after praying. I mean, imagine that God works wondrous ways. That first time I prayed about it, I got this very clear message that was just a reminder from him that was, it's not about you. Serving in this season or at this time or doing this for this camp isn't about you. It's about me, and I've got it. And I've given you the time and the resources and the education and the people and the kiddos. And so I'm asking you to do it for me, not for you. And it was very moving, convinced me that I needed to do it and step in. And so I have since then. All of that to say, I'm kind of an open book. I will share anything and everything that you want to know about me to get to know me better and find out who's, ahead of this charge. But I'm really not. It is all God's camp. It's all God's doing. Any of those letters behind my name don't mean anything other than I just love kids. I love everything about kids. So we all have random letters behind our names for all kinds of reasons, and good and bad. So it doesn't mean anything about me except that I am here for you. I'm here for you 100%. My job and my gift and my honor is to just serve you and give you everything that you need to get your heart and your mind wrapped around just what a special place this is, and just show up in your very best form and make it about these kiddos. So a little bit before Tom and Margaret started camp, the original Royal Family Camp was founded by Wayne and Diane Tesh in California in 1985. And we're the biggest network of camps now in existence. they just wanted to have kids have a brighter future. And so actually Tom and Margaret started the camp, if you'll notice, just years later. And the Idaho camp is actually the 10th camp. There are now over 250 worldwide. And we were number 10. So we've been doing it a long time. Tom and Margaret knew exactly what they needed, which was God and a little bit of faith and a little bit of hope and some cool people. And we've been having camp ever since. So that's a little bit of the background of how we got started in Idaho. Tom and Margaret still go to camp. They still do so much for camp. Margaret does all things activity related. Tom would love to say that he just is the woodworking guy, but he charts and graphs and plans and orders and helps on so many things on the back end of camp that literally it would not happen without him. So give them both a big hug and a high five when you get there, because they're the coolest people you'll probably ever meet. And I could not love two people more. Sorry. So, okay. First time you've seen me cry this year. Won't be the last. Okay. So a little bit about who For the Children and Royal Family Kids Camp is. Sorry about my picture here. Let me see if I can move this out of the way. So we started as Royal Family Kids Camps a few years ago. The national office who runs the camps became For the Children, which is an overarching umbrella over Royal Family Kids. So we are For the Children and we are Royal Family Kids Camps. So what you're involved in is a specific part of For the Children, which is Royal Family Kids Camps. So For the Children does a lot of stuff. They do mentors and mentor groups and teen groups now, and they're involving just a lot of other things year round. In this specific mission, you are involved with a Royal Family Kids Camp, which is part of For the Children. So their mission is to bring hope and healing to all children from hard places, which I think is amazing. Love that mission. Their vision is to have the best trauma-informed training and resources found in the world. You're going to find my training questionable, and that's okay. You want to step up and help me, I would love it. Maybe that's your gift and talent, and you are hired. The pay is minimal, but the reward is great. So, we do hope to have the best trauma-informed training and just awareness. Really that training involves just bringing your whole heart to camp for these kiddos. So, sounds like a lot of big words, but it's really just bringing your heart and soul to camp for these kids. The big hopes and goals For the Children and Royal Family Kids Camps is to just bring more camps and mentoring to every country across the world. So our motto, our saying, our slogan, every day, every minute of camp needs to be about making moments matter. And that's what we do. The little ones, the big ones, it's about making moments matter. So here's the picture of our last year's group. We don't take ourselves too seriously. In fact, we try very hard not to take ourselves too seriously. So that's our family. That's kind of the history of camp. Now you're a part of that, and we can't wait for you to be in the picture. So we will move on to the next little bit of training. And thanks for bearing with me today. I know it's a lot of information and you're going to get really tired of hearing me speak. So take breaks, come back to it, but do try to get to it and through it before you get to camp. So this is some stuff that you need to know, and a lot of questions that will get answered in this. So bear with me. Welcome to training. Thank you for being on board. We'll see you in a week.